Wolf Farms. I'm Dawn, also known as Knitten Wolf.
Hi, I'm James, also known as Wolf Photo. This podcast is brought to you by Wolf Farms. You can find us on the internet at wolffarms.net. We're rolling into a new month, and that would be the month of March, right?
Your birthday month.
And that means that we have a new scent of the month.
Really?
Yeah, really. So
New scent of the month for what?
What? Because we like our viewers and our customers and we want to treat them to specials, and this happens to be a good one because I know everybody loves our lavender, so we put lavender on sale, 25% off. So everything in our shop, that's our candles, bath salt, soap, lotion, the works, anything that's in the lavender flavor, fragrance, whatever.
It's not fragrance, it's essential. It's
Yeah,
right
it is. Yeah, we
from
did.
the heart of the flower.
Can you tell someone's like primed
I've
for
had
the
no
podcast?
sugar.
This is going to be a fun podcast.
I have had pot of coffee.
So yeah,
Pot of coffee. Here we go. We're just going to get all these different sounds.
She's trying to mimic Jimmy and his voiceover
Jimmy's
extraordinaire.
phenomenal.
Yeah, he's got it down pat.
Yeah.
So he could do.
He
I
can
don't know
carry
how
on a conversation.
Yeah, he can do various different nationalities and nail it. But that's a whole other discussion.
Yeah, in fact, he's nailed down finally his Australian.
Yeah. So anyway. So back to the sale. The lavender we do.
Usually the Russian only comes out in the kitchen.
Can I finish?
No. I'm having too much fun.
The clip will just start editing out the.
You always edit me out.
I know. You get a little wild on the podcast.
Wild.
You gotta keep it tame.
Shimmy.
So anyways, all of our lavender products that we sell are made with lavender essential oil. So this is not the fragrance oil. This is actually essential oil. So they're just FYI. And then we also have other sale items as well. So you can swing on by and check that out. I'm sure you'll find something you'll enjoy. I want to welcome new and viewers. Thanks for joining us today. We're glad you could be here, and we are here to entertain you.
No, we're really not. We're here to entertain ourselves.
We're entertaining ourselves. You know, the two people looking back at us in the monitor right now is us. So we're just entertaining ourselves. This is how we talk to each other, and then it gets really entertaining at times. So. I'm just happen to unleash Dawn on you today while she's like fully primed. So, and we're gonna have a long podcast, I think, because I talk a lot.
Yes, you do.
And I got a lot to talk about. And you've got a lot of stuff on the table as well.
No, I can always talk.
So, let's get on with it.
Well, don't you want to ask me what we're going to talk about?
What are we going to talk? I already know. See that we're talking to each other.
This week's segments include farm happenings in the coop, follow in the coop, in the arena, and roundup.
All right, so farm
happenings.
I guess you get a start.
You want me to start?
Yeah.
Okay. I had a doctor's appointment this past week, and so, I'm in the waiting room. I didn't have too long to wait, but you still bring your knitting. And it was a packed waiting room. And I pulled out my knitting, and it looked like, what's that guy on Star Wars that has all the arms?
Oh,
we named General Grievous.
Oh, yeah, see, Dawn's got her little alien antennas coming out of her head as she's pulling out her knitting in the waiting room.
Yeah, and I pull them out, and I just am doing, what was I doing? Oh, working on my hat. And so just, circular needles, if I'd had a sock with a bunch of needles, I could have seen. They looked at me like I was going to, get
like
the hacksaw
like she's
out.
growing antennas out of her ear.
And there was one lady that she was getting ready to say something, but they called my name because I'm I think the only one in there that had an appointment. So, yeah, they looked at me. Yeah, like, they're all on their phones, but they all stopped. It got quiet, because some of them were
start
talking.
secretly filming
and it's like you feel kind of odd, so you kind of want to hide it, it's like,
Yeah.
Which brings me, I was standing in line at Walmart returning, something, and this old man, and because he's old man, because he was insinuating I was an old lady, and he had the white hair. He turns around, he goes, "Oh, well, good thing you got a wedding ring on."
Say, I wouldn't pick it up on you anyways. Yeah. So, knitting in public.
Knitting in public here.
It's because we don't have a yarn store, so it's not encouraged in this area.
Yeah, the closest one's 45 minutes-ish away.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
They don't last out here. Don can't buy that much yarn.
So it was like, glad you have a wedding, you old codger. But yeah, I'm just like, well, at least I'm keeping myself busy, productive.
Yep. So that's your fun.
Oh yeah, I could go on with that. Shoot, howdy. So, and then our garden's going good.
Yes, it is. It's growing.
It's growing.
Yeah.
They're all perky and happy and...
Yeah, we got stuff growing. We haven't hit a freeze, which is good. Temperature's actually been really good.
Yeah.
Really, it's been, some of the mornings have been, in the mid-50s, which is nice, Some of them have been in the 30s, so we kind of keep an eye on it, but we haven't had a freeze, and so far so good.
Yep.
And so everything's growing. It hasn't died off. All of our trees are starting to bloom.
And blooming
We
flowers.
got like our pear trees, our Asian pear, plum trees, cherry trees. All are it's just the plums. Cherries are almost there, not budded out yet. Apples are getting close, but so yeah, everything's waking up. Winter is pretty much, I think, done away with, at least here. I know there's people still shoveling out snow back east and to the north.
And that's so bizarre to see that when I'm in a tank top and a skirt, and it's like they're all bundled up and...
Yeah. So, but, so it's all good. And then I was reading on the news here during the week about Death Valley, things when things come up that I'm interested in, I tend to pursue them. So Death Valley has, I think even CNN had an article on the Death Valley super bloom. Basically, Death Valley, it's the lowest point in the United States. It's like negative 200 some odd feet below sea level at the lowest. And then we have one of the highest peaks in the continental United States is Mount Whitney, which is not too far away.
Oh, really?
Yeah. See,
we had a kid named after Whitney.
Yeah.
Well,
Whitney.
She was also named after Whitney Houston, too,
Yeah.
but
So.
side tangent.
So anyway, the article is talking about the super bloom, and this is where, because Death Valley doesn't get rain. I think their annual rainfall is like 2 inches, if that. It's usually, 130 degrees in the summer. You have to visit in the winter, and even now with as mild as our weather is, it was 80 some degrees there here over the weekend. So I mean, just wintertime and 80 some degrees, it only gets hotter. Well, we've been in a drought, but this last couple months we've got some pretty good rains in, and so whenever Death Valley gets a combination of cooler weather and good rain, they get what they call a super bloom. There's like desert wildflowers galore going on through there. The last time this happened was, I think, in 2005. So it's been 11 years since this has happened. So I thought, I'm going to head on out there. I got Friday off. I'm going to head out, venture out, see what I can do. And I pinged one of my photographer friends there to see if he was interested, and he was all for it. He's like, I got to go Friday, can't stay the night. It's one of those things that because he was doing a photo shoot for high school dance team on Saturday, so it's like, okay, well, let's just make a day trip of it. And so we kind of met up because he lives in a different area, so we kind of met up on the way there, and then we just kind of followed each other throughout the day. And so we ventured through, and we started off in like this one area that he was thinking might have flowers, and we were driving, and it was all green, but there was like no flowers. It was like, this is not looking good. And we passed a car, and I stopped and talked to them, and they said, no, you got to get down into the valley, and it's like as yellow as your Nissan Xterra is. That's what it looks like. And so we went up to the peak because it was kind of it's called Dante's View, and it looks down into Death Valley. So you can kind of see the whole valley from there. And we're looking down from there, and we're like, I'm not seeing anything. This is not looking good. Granted, I'll go there even if it's like barren, because it's just, it's kind
crackly dirt.
Yeah, crackly dirt. Dawn lives in the desert. She kind of it loses any, marvel
I'm
to
a water
her.
girl.
Yeah.
I gotta, but you did find water.
Yeah, there's water. There is water because of all the rain. And so we're looking down there and just looking across, it's kind of funny because there was a couple that were down there, and we were talking with them, and they're from Michigan, right? And she goes, oh, but we come down here for the winter time because it's too cold up there, so they come down and stay in LA for 5 months, I think, a year. Yeah, but they're from Michigan. She says right now it's -2 at her house. And I'm like, well, it's supposed to be 80 degrees here today, so I guess you made the right choice on that one.
Well,
So-
it's like the snowbirds that
Yeah.
go from Florida to Arizona.
Yeah, I know Arizona's got them from all over Canada and stuff that come down to stay thawed. But anyway, so we're looking down there, and we kind of did some hiking and photography up there. And then we trekked down to the valley, down into Death Valley area. We had to go to the radio station to get our park pass because it's a national park and you have to pay for the entry fee. And so we went in there and they had a wildflower map to help you kind of figure out where the flowers. I guess it's a whole lot easier to give you a piece of paper than to sit there and tell everyone. I've never seen Death Valley this busy. I mean, it was packed. We had a hard time finding parking in the visitor center. The campground was full. The streets were crowded. I mean, it was just like, this is Death Valley. Yeah, this is like not your typical thing. Probably because of the CNN article. Everybody reads CNN, so it's like, ooh, that's close enough. We'll go down. It's kind of like our backyard, a little further, but it's like 3 hours from us, but. Still close enough that I could,
Day trip it.
Yeah, because yesterday when we went on the trip, I actually got up at like 2:15 in the morning because I wanted to get there about sunrise, and so
That's because you love Dawn.
Yes. So anyway, so 2:15, I left here about 3 o'clock in the morning, and then I was. Me and my friend that was going to meet me there were texting, and so he was like 5 minutes ahead of me. It's like when I text him, I'm like, I'm here in Barstow, and he's like, I'm in Barstow, but I'm at the 40. I'm like, I'm about 5 minutes behind you. So we ended up meeting in a town called Baker, which is the cutoff to get to Death Valley. And anyway, so we got down into the valley, got the map, so it's showing you basically. The south end of the valley is all just where the wildflowers are going, and their update. They give an update on what's going on at the different things, and their comment is it's moving north, so the blooms are heading up, and then eventually they'll go up to the higher elevations, which is where we came through. We could see the flower plants, but they weren't budded out and blooming, except for we did stop at a couple spots along the way that had flowers. It's like, better take pictures of it now because we might not see any later down the road, but it actually turned out to be really good. So we trekked down from the visitor center down south. That road's about 45 miles, so we kind of made our way through there. Through Badwater and Devil's Golf Course. These are places that are in the valley floor.
Is there really golf?
No, this looks like someone can't golf because it's all just mounds of salt. Because the whole Death Valley valley bed, the floor in it is just covered in salt. It's just all salt. Because I took a picture from high and I texted it to Dawn. She's like, "Is that snow?" I'm like, "No, that's all salt." Because there's a whole bunch of salt flats out there. And so we kind of trekked down and stopped along the way and saw a whole bunch of different varieties of flowers, and it had just blanketed with these yellow flowers. That's the predominant flower that's out there. And so we truck down. We did hiking here and there and whatnot, but all in all, it was a good trip. I got a lot of pictures. You know, I don't know. I should have.
You said you filled up your thing.
I filled out one memory card and went on to the other one, and that's, you know, these are 32 gig cards or whatever. So I mean, I was, you know, lots of photo editing to do. So I actually, this morning, I posted up the first of my edited photos as a close-up of the, what I call the desert 5-spot flower. It's a bloom, and that I had taken along the way. But yeah, I'm going to start going through. I got so many pictures to, I was backing up all the photos onto my, my storage thing, so I have a backup copy of them. And so that was taking a long time. It took like 10 hours to back up one card, 14. And 14 hours. It was running all night, and so I couldn't start editing until today. So, but lots of good pictures. And then after that, so that was Friday. So I get back. It was like 10 o'clock, I think, maybe a little after 10 that I got. No, I think I pulled in the drive right at 10. And so it was a long day, you know, from 3 o'clock in the morning to 10 o'clock at night. And I'm like, I'm not going to go meet up Don's dad in the morning for breakfast. I'm like, there's no way I'm going to be able to. Well, I could, but I'd be dragging. I'm like, no, I need to sleep in. The dogs let me sleep until 7. They were kind enough to let me go that long. So, but anyway, so out our way in the desert here, we have wildflowers as well, and it's most of those are out to the west of us. We're on the east side of the valley, and the flowers tend to go out to the west. We have our own kind of wildflowers here, but they're not the California poppies and stuff. And so I know Don follows the Poppy Preserve, like news announcements or whatever, and they said that the blooms are starting to come up, and I thought, I'll take a drive out there and see what I can find, just kind of keep tabs on it, because last year went really quick. If I didn't go out when I did, I wouldn't have gotten anything, because the next time I went out, they were like all gone because the heat came in. Yeah, and so I went out there and took a drive, you know, and there's some spots that actually where we filmed one of our podcasts at, that area was starting to had a bunch of blooms. And so in the like the valley, the grooves, where the seeds and stuff have collected and there's more water, those have started to bloom. But in the big fields and stuff, those are still not there yet. So maybe in 2 weeks, you know, I'm going to keep eye on it. But it was just a wildflower weekend. So it was all good. Yeah, I had a good time. Got lots of good pictures, and I have to sit there and turn through them. And then I'm curious about seeing what my friend came up with, because every photographer's got their own eye. You know, so you look at things differently, and so we're running around in the same area, you know, not, you know, literally following each other. We were all kind of doing our own thing, and so I'm curious about his take on how he's shooting and stuff. He's a really good photographer, and we shoot the same type of equipment. We both shoot Canon, so we could swap, you know, equipment and stuff, and so we lend each other equipment at times, so it's good.
It'll be neat too, depending what each of you chose for the equipment at that spot.
Because
you know,
he had a GoPro, you know, that he had on a stand that he put up, and I guess he controls it from his phone. There's like a phone app, and it Bluetooths to the GoPro. And he was doing time-lapse photography of the field. You know, it's got a really wide, he's like, so you can kind of see everybody moving around, because it wasn't just us. I mean, it was like cars parked along the road, and just a lot of people out taking pictures of, you know, and hiking around and just enjoying it. It was good. So everybody had a smile on their face.
Well, you found a snake.
Oh yeah, I did find.
I was waiting for that one.
Oh, okay. Yeah, there's one area that's, you know, because Death Valley has got like a variety of colors. I mean, the mountains are made with like from volcanoes and stuff like that. I'm getting to the steak, by the way, and so there's like red rocks and white rocks and just dark black mountains from lava and stuff. And one of the areas that we had stopped, there was a big mound of like black volcanic rock. And all within that rock were these yellow blooms. So it's like, whoa, you know, the contrast between the flowers and that, you know, because on the ground where the sand is, it's like, you know, yellow flower, cream sand, sandy colored sand behind it, not a lot of contrast. I'm like, I gotta hike over there. So I'm hiking on these lava rocks and taking pictures.
Nice warm lava rocks.
Well, it's nice and toasty warm, and I'm climbing up, and I stumble upon a friendly little snake there, and I'm like, whoa! I didn't think it was that warm enough for them to come out, but they're out. So it was a Nevada shovel-nosed snake, because I took a picture. You got a camera in your hand, snap a picture. We'll figure out what it is later. I'm not going to hang out and talk with him and
well, you said he was acting hinky.
Well, he was acting weird. He's kind of wiggling around, and it was a baby. It wasn't very big. It was only probably about that big, and I was trying to see if I can get him to position where I can get a picture, because I couldn't really tell us.
He didn't model for James.
No, it wasn't like the Mojave green rattlesnake from last year that was kind enough to model for me. But he was a little more quick. Yeah, I got snapped off a couple pictures before he crawled back into the rock that he was hiding. But needless to say, I stopped and I decided to come down off the rocks. And I'm like, don't want to risk it. So, but like I said, that was kind of luring me to there. And one of the things that Dawn does, and we do when we're out wherever, we collect rocks. So, just little rocks.
Or shells.
We're cheap souvenirs, right? And so I'm like, ooh, that's a nice one. Dawn will like that. It started rocks this small. I'm like, ooh, that's kind of cool color. Because like I said, there's like a variety of different
And
rocks.
I didn't even ask him.
Green rocks, red rocks, yellow rocks, white rocks, black rocks, you name it. There is like every single color rock you could find. I didn't find a blue one, but I can always go back in a week or two and go back and take more pictures. But, it started off little ones and got slowly bigger and bigger until I came back with something that looks like a big old brick that's about this big, I'm like, oh, that's my workout today, So I brought back a collection, and it's funny, I didn't tell Dawn about this, and the morning after, because she was already in bed when I got home, so I went to bed, and in the morning she's like, well, did you get me any rocks? I'm like, let me tell you about rocks. I got to clean them out of the back. It's going to take a couple trips, so we got the pile of rocks, so it was pretty good, and of course I bring back the souvenirs, so.
Yeah.
But all in all, good trip. It was a lot of fun, and it was good to have pair it with another photographer, because he's looking for the same type of things I'm looking, and we're planning at the very end we wanted to be there for sunset. We got in an area where there's a pool of water, because there's so much rain. Generally it's dry there, except for in bad water, which is all salty water. But there's a couple good pools of water down where we were taking pictures. So we got hiked down and around and got into the area where we can get some good pictures, reflections off the water and whatnot. So I had a good time. And it was funny because I was joking with my friend and telling him, like, okay, the first part, that whole drive, 40-some miles of dirt road is basically how we started our day, with like very few flowers. And I'm like, okay, we'll chalk that up for adventure, and then everything after that point was photography. So but it was all good. Lighting was good, just everything. Weather was good. It was a really good trip, so I'm anxious to go back. There's a couple areas that I didn't get a chance. They have slot canyons in there, not like the fancy Utah slot canyons, but the areas where you can hike back in. I didn't really get off on some of the areas that are like you could see whether there's flowers or not. I didn't. Those are kind of things that I can do when things die down, because right now there's a lot of people there. It's just super crowded, so it's it's like, well, we're going to do the flowers today. Maybe next time I can hike. There's a Darwin Falls has a year-round waterfall in the middle of the desert. It's from a natural spring. I want to hike into that. And then some slot canyons that they have back in there, but it's not marked on the visitor map. So yeah, I just kind of have to know where to go. And so yeah, I'm ready to go back. But if you're in the California area and you can venture up there, like within the next couple weeks, you'll probably see a good show of wildflowers. or just watch our podcast, because then you got all the video that I've inserted into that to kind of show you what's what. But it was all good, very fragrant. That was one thing that I get out in the middle of the flowers. I was like, woo, that's. I know that would probably kill your allergies, but no, it was all good.
Allergies for me got killed on Friday too, because Jimmy and I went out to lunch while he was gone. Well, we went out to lunch and dinner, but lunch I had a free reward at Panera. Of course, Panera. Well, I got this. Usually they have different tea than what they had. And, well, they had a green tea with acacia berry, and I thought, oh, that sounds good. As soon as I got it, Jimmy first said, that's red. And I'm like, well, I'm sure it's because of
that's the color of the berry, yeah.
So, because he's like, oh, that's red because I'm allergic to red dye. Well, took a couple sips, and it's like, we're walking to the car, and I'm like, my throat is on fire. And he's like, oh, it's probably in your head because I said the red dye. And I'm like, took one more sip, and I'm like, this is no good. I'm like, I am obviously allergic to, because I am allergic to berries. Mm-hmm. Berries. I am allergic to, if you're new, I am allergic to, you name it. And so I thought, but usually I can tolerate a strawberry or two or three.
Well, you think in a drink it would be diluted enough that it wouldn't affect you.
So I got home, I stopped drinking it because, it felt like strep throat. On fire. Because usually my reaction is more of I want to climb into the back of my throat and dig. Mm-hmm. So itchy. And this wasn't, I've never had a reaction like this. It wasn't swelling up shut.
It was just burning.
Yeah. And so I Googled it when I got home, and, it said it's if you're allergic to pollen, which I am, to not touch it. And the main thing for the acacia berry, ACAI, however you say it, is it's used for weight loss. And I thought, no joke, because it
make you sick.
Yeah, it burns your dang
you can't eat anything. There you go.
Yeah. So it's like, woo wee.
That special weight loss program.
Yeah.
So right up there with stitching your lips shut.
Yeah. It's and it wasn't dinging me till later when it was just not getting any better, Benadryl.
Well, I was on the phone with you a couple of times, and I'm like, did you take Benadryl? It's like, no. I'm like,
chug it.
Take a Benadryl. And so you ended up taking one, and that helped.
Because even a day later, it was still irritated,
So
that's some nasty crap.
Yeah.
So
no acacia.
No-wee. So, sure we done with
I think we're done with the farm happenings. Little extended version, variety there. So let me move into
the photography segment. Usually we have that as
separate.
What was that? We called that
picking on the farm.
Yeah.
Yeah, you didn't do it there on, so
no, I didn't think of that.
Yeah.
Haven't done it in so long.
So, farm happenings and / picking on the farm.
Yeah.
Picking off the farm.
Picking off.
I was picking in someone else's field this week.
So, in the coop, I have my Scrappy Happy blanket. And this is in my bird leg bags bag. I've been having it in, which is cute. All her bags always have these cute little pools.
Dingly
bits. Yeah, because our lovely cat, Weasley, Diablo.
He's not a good cat. He's not on the good cat list.
He's on the bad cat list. He's on the, you're going to go live with my mother cat list, because...
You're going to go hang out with the coyotes.
Yeah. So, I did a few squares. Here is 4 on this side. This is my Scrappy Happy blanket number 2. So this was from James's sock, and these 2 are from Michelle and MMZ Paul. And I don't remember, I think this was from Katie. So... I'm not quite sure. And then, since I was starting a new line up this way, I started the other end. So it makes an even square. And this is my gnome acres. This is going to be like my gnome acre side. So, so those two are gnome acres. So.
You get 5 done, 6 done.
I think 6, 4, 6, yeah. 4, 6, how do you like that one? So it's actually getting
Sizable.
Pretty good. So.
Because these squares are a little bit larger than the other your miter square blanket that you did. So.
Yeah. So I love working on this. This is just, you know, and this one's going to be, I think, for you or Jimmy, because I need to start another one because he wants his own, you know. So.
Coming along. Yeah. Looks good.
So there's that. And then in this bag, which I just love this little bag. It's me, my dog, and some yarn bag. I'll show you the tag. In this, I have my Asbury. I think I did that wrong. Ashbury Park.
Yep.
I don't know why I want to say
Asbury. Acacia berry.
Oh, because it is Asbury.
Is it?
Oh, no. Yeah, I need to last. It is Asbury. Okay. I'm not completely whacked. It is a paid-for pattern by Karen Michelle. I knit to purl to. Here it is. I gotta get cracking on this. And it's done in, I'm gonna knock that head yet. Initiatives. And
Initiatives.
Tootsie Base sock yarn in the Smarty colorway. It's merino nylon. And done on size 2 needles, Hayas. And you can see my little dicky-doo down here.
And you got the long runs.
And these
so
are the long runs. Yeah, so I can't whip these little points out as fast as I was doing.
The downside from starting at the small point and going up, it's like, I remember doing my shawl for you. That's it's like, okay, come on, we got
So, yep, super fun pattern. And it's for a knit along in her group.
Mm-hmm. Awesome.
Well, because that's one thing I didn't link.
Oh.
She has her own Ravelry group.
I can see your mind wandering
Yeah, I'm
there.
seeing, well, that's one I didn't link.
Oh,
I knit to Purl 2 group. You can just search that in the group section on Ravelry and it'll come right up. And then I worked, this doesn't have a little picture, does it? In my studio in the green little pug bag. Pug bags on the beach. I call it my poop bag because of the
poop fabric on the inside.
Studio in the green, and I just love this bag so much. It is like the perfect little size, and her little, what did you call them? You had the right name. Because your string goes through it.
The guide.
Her little guides, because
the yarn guide. Huh?
It's separated, so you can actually have 2 things of yarn. But I have so much crap in here. But I have my little row counter that you stick on your finger that Bronx Editor gave me. I have that there, so I can just whack it.
Tap it as you go.
Yeah. Because I'm being anal with these. Why, I don't know. I mean, I had to know. This is a sock.
Like overdoing.
Well, there's so much to be telling you because it's a new project. I'm like having start a new project a week. Because every week it's been a new project. And this is done with Juliana's fiber. And it is the Continuum gradient in her Lucid Dream sock yarn. Super wash merino woolen nylon. And in the I Smell Snow.
You like that
yes.
colorway? The whole thing.
Yep. Here it is. What?
I'm just thinking you've got that in your poop bag and it's got the yellow snow to go along with it.
Yeah.
Well, you got the whole gamut there.
Yep.
Number 1 and number 2.
So, I started these and I am so in love with this. Is such soft yarn, and so I started, and this is 24 rows of ribbing. I did a long tail cast on, but I actually used a size 2 needle when I did the long tail cast on, just to make sure I got stretch. So I didn't have to worry about casting on loosely, or, so it was a consistent cast on, so there's 24 rows of a knit 2 purl 2 rib. Oh, so pretty. Look at this. And
you're marking these, you're like noting the number of rows so that if you don't need to align colors and stripes to make sure you get the right size, right?
Yeah, because when I can see it better on the screen, on the camera, how that fades, but since it's a continuum, it's hard when you're pulling this out to see
where you're at with
you're at. So I was kind of worried about,
matching.
I don't care if the other one matches color-wise,
but
I want the exact number. That's why I'm doing 24 rows on this.
That's why she's being very specific with this sock.
And I'm writing things down. I have paper in here, and these are done on my size 1 signatures that James got me. I had started them on my Blackthorn carbons. Mm-hmm. Carbon needles.
But they're 6-inch, right?
They're 6-inch length. I got those at Vogue Knitting, the first Vogue Knitting Live here in LA in 2011. Mm-hmm. And I was just getting a drag. Usually those go really quick, but with this yarn, it was just giving me a drag. And signatures, there's no drag. And one thing because I haven't knitted with them in quite a while, but they've got a scroosh. When you push the yarn, you hear this.
It hums to you.
There's a sound, yeah, because you don't feel it, but which I just love that sound. But
so they have a little bit of grip to them, so they don't slide off,
no, not too much. But there's a. So I don't know what that is, but yeah.
It's your needles talking to you.
These are the 5-inch, which you were just pointing out, because my Blackthorns are 6-inch, and they always poke me in my wrist. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, ugh. And these are the 5-inch, and it's just a
little easier to handle.
Perfect. Yeah, it's so.
You're not skewering your hand.
Yeah.
It's always a good thing not to skewer
Don't skewer your hand. Yeah.
You don't want little red marks in your snow.
So these, because one thing, why I haven't knit socks so much, because my sock yarn drawer overfloweth big time, but this needle holder is perfect for these, where they don't come out, because these are deadly sharp. So
and you wonder why people look at you strangely in the
I didn't pull these out.
I know.
That's why I was thinking, it's like, ooh, all these needles, but so is that all my spinning?
Yep.
So I do have spinning. I've been still doing my 15 minutes of spinning, except I didn't do it yesterday. Missed a day.
Yeah. Oh darn.
So I am spinning the Black Trillium Fibers Studio.etsy.com 4-ounce merino roving in the watermelon colorway.
That's looking good.
Yeah, I'm really having to fight it. I think because it's so old. So it's I'm having to really do a lot of fiber prep, because I'm getting.
You need to get a carder to put your bat through before you start.
No, that's why I'm trying to get through what I have as a stash. I think I only got 4 or 5 more
Just
braids.
Buy it fresh.
Buy it fresh, because it makes a world of difference. Although, except for Redfish Dye Works. That is the ultimate.
You've never had issues with.
Never, ever. That is the ultimate best spinning fiber I have ever touched. It is dreamy. And they are based here in California. I know they go to all the different shows, though, so.
Good stuff.
Haven't seen them in a long time. I miss them.
Yeah.
So, now we move into Flow in the Coop. And Flow in the Coop this week is the wiped it right off my iPad, is the Galactic hat by Juliana Puccini. And this is done with Gnome Acres Beach. It's beachy. Beach color, beach something.
I don't remember.
I remember it had a beach in it. So, and I did the child size hat. I did go, of course I don't follow no pattern, just like a recipe. So I went longer than what the child size called for.
Is that so you can roll it? Or,
No.
Or just fit your head?
I just wanted it to fit I grabbed the kid's head and I stuck it on there. And he goes, "Oh, cool! And my spikes can hang out." And I'm like, "It's not staying this way. It's going to." So I did a lot of knitting on this. This is where it's fingering weight that I held double because I love doing that with hats because it makes it so squishy and warm. Because I noticed the hat I wear in the mornings, which is my sock head hat, is just single thread or single thing of fingering weight. And that sucker is like not wearing nothing. It's more of a decoration. I don't see why you would wear that. Because I have to fold it just to get any warmth on my ears. So I love that hat, but it's like, it's not a warm hat.
Not for warmth.
Yeah.
Just for decoration.
Yeah. So I did go 6 inches in this part before I started the decrease. But I love how she kept her decrease so that these lines stay in line. I was wondering that when I was getting to that point. But
you did a lot because your Dickie
my
is way
Dickie,
down here,
yeah.
and you were going this direction,
Yeah,
so you only had that much, and then
this was my cast on last week because I seem to be doing a new cast on each week, which it's like I could really cast on more because there's so many things I want to knit. But super great pattern. I cannot say enough great things. It fits perfectly, and she does it from baby to large adult size. So I mean, it's a great buy, because it is a paid for pattern. But the size range is awesome, and there's enough interest in it that you're not bored, So this is you could do a hacker movie here, get back out my little alien thing. So
get your knitting
because it is too
out.
hot here for a hat now. Of course, that's why I made a hat because it's so hot, But it's ready for winter, and it's still cold in the mornings. So yep, super fun. I loved how it patterned on here, and
awesome.
Yep. Okay, so I got to enter this into quite a few podcasts,
knit-alongs.
Knit-alongs. Juliana's fiber, because this is her pattern, the Galactic hat. I entered it in her group, and then since it was done in Gnome Acres, I got to enter it into the Love Sock Wool and This Old Knit podcast knit-alongs, which is really cool, and they have a bunch of great prizes for all of them. Plus, Little Bobbins and Little Yellow Uke are having knit-alongs they're calling it a little along. So, anything that's little, you can enter. Even the squares, of your mitered square blankets and stuff.
Those count.
Those count, too.
Oh, okay.
Which I entered just a couple because I was like, I felt weird.
Oh.
I want to support. It's more me just wanting to support these podcasts, not, winning the prize kind of thing. It's just, I have
joining
fun and joining in and, so, I get excited, especially hearing the other podcasters talk about it. And it's like, ooh, I want to do that. And you start thinking, well, what else could I knit? And so I will have those podcasts linked because they're all, wonderful podcasts to be watching. And so.
Pretty cool.
So. A lot of bang for your buck on that one. So now in the arena, we have, our hatch knit entries. I didn't even bring this up. Hatch knit is our winter hatch knit, and it's waiting for that to refresh. And those 13 pages, and. winter hatching it from January to March in our
so
Wolf Farm group.
you got about a month left to get joined in on that.
We have some great prizes from Packy Knits Designs and Left Field Knitter. I've shown those on previous podcasts. Packy Knits still has a coupon code WOLF16 till May for things in her shop. And so I wanted to show a few of the cool entries. This is Melissa Knits socks. I love those. Let's see if I can scroll yeah, you can still see. She had a lot of, and parrot green. That's really cool. Why didn't that, there we go. So Penny Gale. See, it's loading. Ooh, pretty shawl. Socks. So there's whatever you knit, spin, crochet, Sonic Freak. There's Amelia. See, she did the galactic hat too. She did a modeling shot. She's gorgeous. And so then we have Penny Gale's hat. So
Lots of good
lots
entries.
of fun. Little Mermaid. She is like a sock queen, man. She always has awesome socks. So yeah, lots of cool entries, and this is very hard to scroll and look at the same time because I get just so excited.
You're getting distracted by all the good knitting.
Yeah.
So yeah, any fiber art that's in there, you can enter into the contest.
Yeah, so that's really fun. That is like a major enabling for your queue. You know, it's like, ooh, well, I want to knit that too. And so, where are we at?
That was the
We
arena.
are to...
Oh, round them.
Oh, wait.
What?
I didn't do... Yes, I did. We're in the arena. So, I haven't mentioned in quite a while different podcasts because there's so many. And I am like getting overloaded. It's like, oh, well, that's a new one. And oh, that's a new one. And oh, you know. So it's like...
Well, you said this.
My earbuds are so happy, you know. By the way, I am an earbud killer.
Yeah.
I have a drawer for dead earbuds
I don't know. I don't just throw them away. They just
because you could fix things.
Well, those aren't worth fixing.
Yeah.
And that's why we buy the $6 earbuds because it's $6 or $50. They're gonna last about 2 months.
I don't know why. It's not like I use them all the time.
You have them; they're permanently affixed to your
it's in my
ear as
ear.
you're doing
Yeah.
stuff through the day. So
I wanted to mention just a couple. You know, I already mentioned and flown the coop some of the podcast that I watch. You know, just because of the knit-along, not just because of the knit-alongs, but I mean, I mentioned them because I'm in their knit-along. It must be getting towards lunch. So, anyways, inside number 23, which if you've watched any length of time, you know my favorite number is 23 because I'm 23. And so that was really cool. And I don't remember where I had heard about her. I don't know if it just came up and, oh, you might like to watch. And I thought, well, yes, I would because she's a little redhead.
Oh, okay.
And,
redhead and 23 in the title. So.
Yeah, so I clicked on her and watched her, and she is Miss Lavelia. I hope I'm saying that right. That's her Ravelry name. But she's Katie on her regular name.
Her real name.
Her real name, thank you. And she's just very interesting. She does the knitting. She does sewing. You know, her background is in acting arts. You know, and so she had shown theater. Thank you. That's the word. Let's get these words right. And so she had shown previous pictures of what she's Beauty and the Beast, and which is so cool. So you know, very entertaining and fun to watch. So go give her a listen. I will have it linked. And these are YouTube podcasts. I think all the new ones are. I think everybody's kind of away from iTunes. So,
well, free versus cost.
Well,
YouTube's free.
Yeah.
You don't have to pay.
So go give her a watch, and I know she's English or UK. Is that considered the same thing? Over across the pond. So I can't remember exactly where she's from, and because my geography is really nil. So go give her a watch. And then I watched Sockcetra, because that's another one that had come up. And she's Shannon Fisher that's her Ravelry name, and her real name is, of course, Shannon. And she is a hoot and a half. I mean, super entertaining. She must do a tons of editing, because you know how, like at the beginning, that the stuff we edit out, she actually does little mini clips of her going, and, she does singing and,
See, now you know what we edit out before you edit.
She edits it in, and just super fun. And, these are both newer podcasts, so it's easier to catch up on. And, they're doing different things. And Shannon's actually going to be having a color work knit along. Oh, well, duh! And I just forgot, Katie is having so there goes my little bit of British accent. Oh, so it goes right back to the Russian. I
She
don't
is
have
not
Jimmy's
good at
talent.
Voices.
No.
We've already talked about that.
But anyways, KT is having a knit along, a Harry Potter knit along. And which I was excited, because I'm slowly buying the Audible books, and that, I've read the other books 1,001 times, but
and we got the movies
and all the Legos, and I thought, ooh, I might have to get my Harry Potter Legos out. But she's having a Harry Potter knit along, and so I wound my Harry Potter socks up, and sock yarn up, and I think I'm going to do that Hermione's everyday socks or something like that. Hermione socks, because I've never done those ones, and
well, there you
so
go.
I thought those kind of pair
Harry
kind of
Potter,
cool. Yeah,
yarn and pattern.
And so that's exciting. So both of those are having knit-alongs, and they're super fun, so give them a watch.
All right.
So now we are round up, and I've already mentioned those things, so we'll just go right to our...
the winning.
That too.
Oh, wait, no.
Our YouTube.
YouTube.
Our YouTube channel is, in order to get subscribers, once we get 1,001-ish, we will be giving away a skein of Volmise
to one of our subscribers.
So that's going to be really fun. And this is just a gorgeous blue. So pretty. So, and Naomi Knits did an Instagram photo of where she had subscribed to us.
Okay.
So I was like, oh, because it came up Knitting Wolf. And I thought, I wonder if, so I went...
You're losing me.
I know. I lost you, so I know you guys are all way out there. And
I'm used to it. You guys probably aren't.
Yeah. So I was thinking, oh no, I wonder if it's hard for people to find us on YouTube.
Oh, I get you.
See, I'm getting there. So I went and I did a search of typing in Wolf Farms, and some cow podcast comes up. But we do come up under Wolf Farms. And we also come up under Knitting Wolf. So both ways, because I was like, oh, I didn't even think of that.
If you don't see our smiling faces, it's probably not our channel.
Well, no, because we're not a big old bull.
Not
We
last
have
time
a
we
lot
checked.
of bull going on here, but it's not that kind of bull. You take that
I
head.
will take that.
So we do have our prize drawing for the She Is So Whimsical. And thank you for Renee for sending this bag to give away. And when you sent me, it was so lovely. And I will show you what you will be winning. This is her drawstring bag. And it is completely reversible drawstring bag, which is awesome. And this is the inside of the bag.
The other side, if you want that on the outside.
Or if you want this side on the outside. It's okay. So.
Hey. Boy. Come here. Poppy, come here. What are you barking
It's
at?
the neighbor getting home.
Oh. Poppy Chew, come here. Come here, buddy. So.
Okay.
It's fine.
So I drew the winner, and it was number 26. Had to find it. And that is Crochet Knit 2, which is Emily. So congratulations. Contact me with your full name and your address where I can ship this to you, and you will be getting the one that has been still bagged and everything. So
be fresh and ready
to go. So that was really cool, and thank you again so much, Renee. And you guys can go check out her shop. She is so whimsical. And
all right.
Yep, you have till March 29th to claim your prize. Otherwise, I will draw another name from that thread.
Excellent.
So, yay!
All right, so I guess we're on to roundups.
We're still rounding this up.
All right, so
Got a lot of interruptions.
Yeah, I know.
You won't know that though from the magic of editing.
Yeah, the brilliant editing techniques. So we just stitch it all together, and it comes out like you never knew.
Stitch it all together.
So, but anyways, just want to remind you, we have free Wolf Farm video podcast button. You can get one of those for free with any paid order at Wolf Farms. Just ask for that in the comments section when you're checking out, and we'll be happy to stick one of those in your order. I've got some thoughts on maybe doing like a one of my pictures on a button to like weekly, so we have a different button. So if for anybody that orders during that week, you get that special, Wolf. It won't have all the lettering and stuff on there, but it'll be a special like decorative button. Yeah, so look out for that. I don't have one ready, so you'll have to wait till next week.
You're springing this on me.
I know.
Springing it because we're coming into spring.
But anyways, we got the lavender on sale, 25% off, plus other sale items as well. So swing on by, and I'm sure you'll enjoy something. But I think that about does it for this edition. This episode.
So until next time. I was kind of coldly going to go off on that. Okay, I'll keep it our normal thing. So until next time.
Let's get cracking.
And hatch a knit. Bye, y'all.
Bye, y'all.